Our retro review for Babylon 5 is called By Any Means Necessary. That's after this. Hello out there, I'm the oldest nerd, and in talking about this episode, there are a couple of things that we want to note. Let's just give you a quick rundown of what the deal is. First of all, there are conflicts from two different groups. We have G'Kar and Londo, who are at odds with each other because G'Kar needs something that Londo has. Londo doesn't want to sell it to him just because he doesn't like him. That's kind of the dynamic between the two of them, and attempts by Sinclair to go between them doesn't seem to help much. Same thing with the dock workers as opposed to Earth Central, who were put into kind of a binding contract that didn't allow strikes, and yet they're dealing with double shifts, bad equipment, and a death caused by equipment malfunction. So they want more money, and Earth isn't going to give them any. And they want better equipment, and they're not going to get that either. And the budget has just been made for Babylon 5, and it goes mostly, of course, to the military and not any more to the dock workers than there ever was. So this leads to quite a bit of unrest. There's a sick out. There is a negotiator called in who doesn't really negotiate, just kind of states Earth's position and says, you can do that or we send in the troops. And in the case of G'Kar and Mollari, it's just about as bad. So what we have here is the problem that now falls into Sinclair's lap. And the purpose of this episode, I think, is to show just how difficult Sinclair's job can be. He has to be a diplomat, a politician, a military leader, and someone who just keeps the station going. And that's a difficult thing for any person. And to show that he is up for it is what this episode is about. He's gone like 3 days without sleep. He is trying to figure out how you can make a compromise that will prevent bloodshed, that will take care of both ambassadors without causing an interstellar incident, how to deal with the Earth Senate, which politically could affect his career. So all of these things come in, and how is one to behave? There is no win in any of his alternatives. And so, of course, by the end of the episode, he has to come up with his own. He has to go into the fine print and find out what kind of leeway he might have, even if it's not in the original spirit of the laws or agreements that we're drawn into. And so it all ends happily ever after, but it does not go without consequences. Because after both of these situations, we have damage. Now, we have kind of a way that both sides finally settle on the situation between G'Kar and Londo, because Londo thinks that he has won out because he's run the clock out, and Sinclair comes up with another interpretation of the spiritual doctrine that G'Kar follows that allows them to go ahead and do the ceremony later. He takes a gamble in settling the labor dispute, and he's warned at the very end of the episode that he's created some enemies in doing this, while he has managed to solve things diplomatically and labor-wise and militarily. He's fallen in the political side. He's made a few friends, but a whole lot more enemies, and this can have big repercussions on him and on Babylon 5 going forward. If anybody knows the story of Babylon 5 through all of the seasons, we know that Earth is undergoing a radical change of government, and it's not for the better. So this is something that we're following here, and I thought it was a very good outing. Once again, we see great talent in Peter Jurasik and Andre Katsoulis, who play Londo and G'Kar. I find through all of the makeup of G'Kar's character that Andreas Katsoulis is able to show great emotion, and he's also a pretty good singer. I still have my difficulties with the intensity or lack of in Sinclair. We know why, and I'm sympathetic, and I think he's a good fellow, a good actor, generally speaking. But it seems to lack some of the force that probably needed to be there. It's a compliment to the producers, especially Straczynski, who stood behind him all the time that he wanted to continue doing this. It was a good episode, and we have a little bit of Garibaldi and Ivanova in it, but this is really an episode about Sinclair and showing just why he's valuable to the station, and that's something there. I'd like to know what you think. Please put it below. Of course, if you've not subscribed, please do so right now. And if you like what we do here or like this particular episode, why not click a like as well? We would appreciate it. Also, we want you to check out Lower Decks, which is also dropping today, and this is the last show of the season, which ends in kind of a cliffhanger. So not as much of a cliffhanger as the episode 9 to episode 10, but we'll talk about all of that when we get over there. Anyway, back on Tuesday with more Deep Space Nine, the original series on Wednesday, and we will have some Doctor Who news as well that we'll mention today, and we'll follow that as we can and talk about that. So until next time, I'm just going everywhere. Why don't I just do all the reviews in one episode, huh? Until next time, don't go far.